it's the, I'm actually underneath it right now. It's probably not the best spot to be standing. See what it does. Hopefully we can get this chunk down all the way to like there, and it'll be resting on this limb. Then I can cut this limb, and if it slides and goes, it'll go down the back side of the tree, which should be okay. It just keeps rolling. Let's hope it's still holding. Here's what I'm hoping, is that it's still holding up there in that other oak tree. So what I got. So every time I cut it, it's rolling. Damn it! Right when I think I'm out of it. Cautious of stuff getting loose. Not to mention, you know, they redo the house underneath the bad trees. It's normal. Okay, so we got it hooked up tree. Jake's gonna try to jack on the tree jack and see if we can get it to come over. You guys right here. We'll see what happens. I don't really know. Okay, at this point I'm overwhelmed, so we hook up the maze dam. We come down to the base here. Our trees are way up at the top by the house. We have this power line that's running right over the top of us, which makes getting the right angle almost impossible. So we work our way to the other side of the road. We find a good tree, which will be this one here. And we completely torque everything down until it won't take any more, and it does nothing. So we have to relieve it, undo it, take it even further down the road, and reset it again. And once again, we torque it down to where you can't get another click out of it, and it doesn't move. So now I'm out of ideas, and I'm about to go to the base of it and just start cutting. I'm gonna have to show you what I mean, because I actually didn't put the camera there with me. The camera went dead, and the only thing I had was my phone. So let me do a little explanation here on what I was doing when I went down to the base of the rotted tree, the uprooted one. So after putting it in the first position, the maze dam, and maxing it out, we have to pull all that tension back out, reset, put it to the second position. We have now torqued it down. It is completely maxed out again. The tree is not moving. So I'm going to attempt to put a notch in it and slap a back cut in it. And let's see what happens. Okay, so if you're not a fair weather fan and you've been watching, you'll remember in part 2 I said that the head contractor there had offered to hook his tractor up to this. And after getting overwhelmed here and nothing working, there were times where I thought about, man, should I took him up on that offer? But when you see what happens, you'll for video it would have been interesting, but I'm so glad I didn't do it. House, tree that I have the bollard on and tied into, and here's our uprooted tree. So it had fell into this tree and then created so much like bend in it where it molded itself to the shape of the limb it was touching. So there was still like 30 foot above this here. And so I started chunking that down. I got it down to about right here, and I'm starting to get close where what I wanted to do, say there were probably about 12 foot there, 10 foot, and I wanted to get that down, but it kept rolling, and every time it rolled it went closer to the house. So if it goes this way, house. If it goes that way, we don't have any issues. So this is as far down as I could get it, and it kept rolling closer and closer and closer and closer to the house. So I went up there, I cut off and kind of tried to flatten it so that it would have a little more ease sliding off there. I went down, and as I climbed down, I made a big back cut right here, or top cut. I cut that about right to there, which left just a little bit left, and that was resting on it. Enough that this wasn't actually touching. You see that little gap right there of white? There was about that much before this would have been touching it. So I'm like, okay, I made a really good cut. That way this thing would kind of let it bump it, but then it would go. So I came down, we hooked up a tree jack. Original probably hookup spot was down the hill, a little kind of this direction. Or maybe it would have been like directly from this view behind the tree. But we had a rope angle going out. We jacked that thing down. And if you remember, we had the power lines going across. We lifted them power lines and they were all touching. And we had it so maxed out it wouldn't do anything. So then I'm like, okay, now what? We have to relieve all of that out of a maze dam, which is a tricky situation. You have to do it like a couple teeth on the gear at a time. So we work that off. We disconnect the maze dam, and now we've moved it over to here. So we're getting a little bit of like a side, little bit of a back. This one, we're still lifting the lines like crazy, which is a bummer, but you know, we're doing what we can. So we max it out again, it will not move. Like both of us clicking on it, and you're not supposed to do that. I was worried we were going to start to break the teeth on it. So we've got a rope hooked up. It's over here. It is fully taut and maxed out, and nothing's working. I am absolutely overwhelmed. So I grab my 362 and I head down here at the base. Make sure I'm still in there. All right. So first, I wanted to just like go like right next to the tree. So I put a notch. And remember, this thing, it was supposed to be alive, but I think the only thing living was the vines that went all the way up it. So I did that. I made my back cut. My notch wasn't quite that deep. It was actually kind of shallow, but made my back cut, and I barely got my saw out, and the tree set back. The pressure, it compressed down, and it closed this cut here completely up, to where you couldn't even really tell that I had made a cut. So then I'm like, okay, can you click on it anymore? Nope. So then I'm like, okay, well hang on, that makes sense. I'm going into it, it set it back. So what if I put a notch on facing that way, up above this, and then I make a back cut here? In theory, what's going to happen is it's going to fold that way a little bit, and after it folds that way a little bit, this one will then take over and it'll go. So I put a notch facing that direction on the backside, and I make my cut here. A whole lot really doesn't happen. So I get my saw out, and I'm like, now I've got 2 notches in the tree. Rope, maze dam. I've triggered this, and nothing. So we're gonna pick it up on the video where I tell Jake I could go get some wedges, because then I'm thinking maybe I can for sure get some movement. So we'll go back to the video, and I head up to go grab some wedges.
I can see some wedges. I gotta push it your way. Okay. I'll go grab some. What was that noise? That was a different branch breaking.
Alright, let's see that again. So as I walk off here, Jake actually tries to take another click on the maze dam, and we get movement out of nowhere. So remember the guy asking if you want to hook to my tractor? As this thing comes over, it takes my rope, stretches it, and absolutely explodes. And that loud noise that I can't figure out what it was my rope. It legit sounded like a shotgun. And what it did to that rope while it was connected to the maze dam, I wonder, a human being on a tractor, it would have been so bad. Now in real time.
Holy shit! That branch made the loudest noise? Jesus Christ! Of course it's gotta happen when I turn around too. I'd walk into the truck. Fuck, scared me half to death. Oh my god. Stay on that damn thing. Fuck. Oh, you're right, son of a bitch. I thought like a transformer or something blew that in. Bow! Oh my god. I had it be a rope. Oh, it was the rope? Yeah, I think so. Oh! Well, that's why I was telling you, get away from it. When it starts to go, get away from it, because it's going to go that way, and if it catches on something, dude, I have blown every fucking rope I have up. I have cut all of my ropes or blown them up. Holy shit. He's fucking hanging around that limb right there. That one that's hanging, yeah, I cut it partially, and it started to open up, so I thought, well, when I get down, let me just put a little pressure on it, and then it'll keep taking pictures today. Yeah, I got the branch on it. Oh, it's down. I'm glad I got to see it. I've been waiting all fucking day for that. You and me both, man. Oh, son of a gun. Let's see if I at least got it on camera. Yay, I think so. You got it? Yeah. Okay, I'm headed up. Quick. Alright, good. Beautiful job. Did a great job. There's that little hole. Rig those out. I'm gonna chunk some wood down, that section down, and then fall log. So. Okay, so here's what we got. About to finish this up and head home. Look how rotten this thing is. It's bad. It's back towards the hut. We're gonna send it right out there. Jake's on the tree jack over there. So, put you guys somewhere here. Right in this brick. around, I'll come give you a hand.
Yeah.
I think it's so like the part
Rotten
leaning.
all the way through the middle? The middle, it was solid, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely not able to pull nutrients up anymore, so it just finally said, I'm done.
I can't tell how far up there it is.
I would say it's got to go to about, with how thick it is.
Not where you're at, somewhere probably.
Actually, I see a little hole right here. So it's still hollow all the way up here. I think it's probably solid up here at the knuckle, and then right after the knuckle is hollow.
When we had the fire started here and it caught the tree. And then I came out here later that night and it was burning out from where it forked up at the top.
Okay.
I couldn't tell if it was a squirrel's nest that was still on fire or leaves.
There was a bunch of squirrel nests
But
up in all of it.
it wasn't just like kind of burning, it was like shooting up flames like a chimney. So I was almost wondering if it was burning from the inside and the whole tree was like a chimney.
It could have been.
Oh,
It could have been. It could have
awful
started
black
down
in
there at
there.
that hole.
It's awful black in there.
But there was like fire shooting out. It wasn't just like low flame. It was like it was shooting out like you poured out the middle of the log and you had a
like you do that cannon kind of
Yeah.
chimney thing where it burns really fast, shoots out a flame almost.
that's what it looked like.
I
For
wouldn't doubt it. It looks like it could be hollow right here at this weird union because this is not a natural union. It shouldn't look like that. That's twice as big at the top as it is at the base. But you can see a couple of the branches grew together and across each other.
you think that would look cool if I was to cut it up and turn it into an end table?
It's gonna have some crazy grain, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to twist that up. Like when-
It'll twist and then
Well,
twist
I don't know
again
about
on
twist it, but like the grain itself, like it'll be thinner like it would be, but when it comes out, you know, it'll have like wood stakes to be, you know, from the side of it.
as long as it ain't rotten on the inside like it is.
I don't think it is up there, 'cause it is, all this is solid. But even if it is, you can put it there. Like, where that's all that top piece is.
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't think you don't use it.
My brother does that. I think it's a phase that's gonna. Will has got me talked into the stain though. It used to be concrete. I do roads and bridges. Yeah, I do for a living. Stained concrete was always really high, but nowadays it used to be you had to stain concrete with like a powder admixture. Yeah.
You say you do bridges?
Roads and bridges.
Really? Yeah, my dad's bridge, he's got that.
I get going over there and switching
You guys still there? Yeah, you still recording? Alright, well, I'll show you the stump. Look way down in there. There's the other one. There. I knew it was hollow because of that. But, I mean, you can see. Wasn't much meat left to get it to hinge. We got it right before the road. Well, I think the only thing left over there is like one ratchet strap, Jake, and then all the rigging will be brought over. Hey, turn around. Look how dirty Jake is. Show me your hands. Look at this shit. Look at this. Oh, so nasty. That's what you get when you do burnt trees. Alright guys, we'll catch you next time. Or maybe we'll record at home or on the way home. I don't know. Doubt it. But stay safe if not. See you next time. Bye.
That's it for this one, guys. Definitely one that I'll probably never forget. I feel like I pushed it big time there. After watching the footage, I feel like there's a few things I may have did a bit different. Normally I wouldn't even get there that early. I'm glad I really got there early. You know, a picture never does anything any justice. I've established that by now and proven that with 50 different videos on YouTube. But yeah, I'm just curious, you know, if would you have done it any different? For those of you that do tree work, climb, would you have done it any different? The new house being up underneath it definitely threw a wrench in everything. I think the smart move would have been to knock them down before rebuilding after the house fire. But yeah, that's it for this one. If you guys like, there's a button you could hit where you can watch it on the regular, and there's another button to tell me if you liked it. Let me know if you didn't like it. If you don't want to push any of them, that's your prerogative. I will catch you next time. Stay safe. Stay safe.